Welcome back to MSU Tonight. Joining me in the studio is the current director of Cinema International, Dr. St. Paul, and the creator of Cinema International, Dr. Mike Wog. Thank you for joining me.
Thank
Our
you
pleasure.
for having us.
All right, to start it off, I just got a simple question. What is Cinema International?
Well, I often say that it is the best kept secret on campus, but it is also an international film program. We strive to bring in films from all over the world, as well as independent and as well as an occasional classic American film. We kind of hit all the bases. We are in its 30th year.
Happy anniversary.
And we hope to keep it going for some time to come.
Yeah, I think Cinema International is really an add-on to what Murray State offers, educational add-on, because coming from the Modern Languages Department, we teach cultures, we teach languages, and actually Cinema International tries to offer a selection of movies in the languages and cultures that we teach. And the bonus is that it's a program that's free to the members of the community as well. So not only do we encourage our students to go and integrate those movies in our teaching, but we can also discuss them, and the community can actually take part. So I think it really is a wonderful, as you say, too well-kept secret. We would like more people to come and enjoy, I mean, on a regular basis.
And of course, we don't want it to be a well-kept secret.
That's right.
Not at all.
We want students, faculty, and the community to know that they are always invited.
Totally.
Well, since you all have been going for 30 years, you must have some kind of fond memory or just a funny story from being on for 30 years.
There is one, and we have a friend of Cinema International, that's Diego Villa, who's always there every night, usually behind the popcorn machine. But his contribution isn't just popcorn. He has a tremendous sensitivity to film, and particularly to what seems to work for us in this area, and I've appreciated his contributions over the year. But there was one night, so it is said, that somebody heard somebody snoring in the back of the theater, and it might have been him, but so we never tire of chiding him about it. But anyway, it's really a reflection of our selection for that day, isn't it?
Well, I must say that Diego has been a pillar of Cinema International, because he also is the one who runs the movie in the film box. So he is indispensable, and he does it because he loves the movie, and he does it. He's from the community, so we love him.
Since you're the creator of Cinema International, what made you create it?
Cinema International is part of a larger movement which was taking place at Murray State back in the early 80s and mid-80s. It was a movement to internationalize the campus, to open up its perspective beyond the local area to the rest of the world. And there were many initiatives that took place in those days, including the recruitment of international students and study abroad programs. We had one of the most wonderful study abroad programs, the KIIS, which was created right here, as well as, lectures and all sorts of other things. And of course that tradition goes on, and that was our contribution to it, but also to create a space, an intellectual space, and an aesthetic space that reflected the perspectives of other peoples, other nations, all over the world.
Do you have anything to add?
Well, I would say that Cinema International really has an amazing program, and always has, and I will do my best to continue the tradition since this is my first year. And we started on a strong foot with Timbuktu, which is really a movie that took place on events that took place in Mali in 2012, when Timbuktu suffered the onslaught of radical jihadists and oppressed the local Muslim population. So it's nice to have a point of view that is indeed from the people themselves who feel oppressed, and it's done with art. So despite the serious topic, the film also has extreme beauty and poetry. And so in talk about, let's say, war in poetic terms, it's nice to have that opportunity to discuss and see things like that. The second movie we had was called The Nightingale. It was a Chinese movie that was last week. And that again showed the difference between the modern, ultra-modern China in Beijing and the traditional China. It's beautiful scenery in southern China. So people could travel in their seats. And we always have a discussion afterwards, exchange of impressions, because these movies are not always easy to understand, because people who have not traveled very much are not familiar with how people react in other cultures. So really, it's nice to open up and discuss and have questions and have people who know answer them. So I think that is part of what we do in Cinema International, is have this exchange afterwards. Yeah. The next movie, this one coming up, is going to be a South American movie called Embrace the Serpent. It's a Colombian movie. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it's titled Embrace of the Serpent. It is a film about something that's been going on for 500 years, which is the colonization of the Amazon, and which has intensified tremendously in the last 100 years, in the last even 50 years, with the cutting of roads from the Brazilian side, the extraction of transnational corporations, particularly of oil, but all other metals, and the effect that this has had on native peoples, which is, who are many, and have suffered tremendously all through the centuries, but now more than ever. And so that's what we have, is an engagement between two Westerners, actually famous explorers who were there, one in the 20s, another in the 40s, and who meet the same native shaman, and he gets a chance to tell what colonization is from the perspective of native peoples.
That's amazing. I'm probably going to go check it out this weekend.
Good.
I hope you do.
Do you have anything else?
As current director, I'm faced with funding, and we provide this free, amazing opportunity to the community and our university, and we get funds from different departments, but we also welcome funds from members of the community through our foundation account, and the foundation account is in the Office of Development. So if anybody likes our program and wants to donate, just call up the Office Development. I'd be very happy.
I'll be sure to get that word out.
Because these films cost in licensing fees, and that's why when you show to the public, you have to pay a licensing fee, which is quite hefty.
It's a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have both of you. Next time on MSU Tonight, get ready to get nerdy with Nerd Word.